Hey friends, welcome back to another Step It Up stamping. In this video, I'm going to show you how to start with a very simple card and then step it up with extra layers, maybe a technique or two, and some details so that you can create your own stamping journey where you feel the most comfortable. So let's get started. Today, we are using a stamp set that is new as of this recording. It premiered in November of 2025. It is a Stampin' Up! Online exclusive stamp set, which means it's only available via our online store. It's called Swirled Designs, and you can see that it is a bundle. It's got a stamp set with all these really fun images, and then the dies that I am absolutely in love with. We are going to start with our Busy Bee card. That is the card that is super simple. Anybody can make, and it comes together in a hurry. Now, you noticed in the stamp set that there are no sentiments. So I paired this with the Simply Said stamp set, one of my personal favorite sentiment stamp sets. It's got something for every occasion. Let me bring my camera down just a little bit. That way you can see it a little bit better. So what I'm doing with color here, and I think it's the colors that really make this card pop. Now, I know it's November and most of us are still stamping for fall or for Christmas, but I needed something a little different this week. So I went with Balmy Blue. That's what I used for the card base. I used Balmy Blue ink, Balmy Blue sheer ribbon, and then I added Calypso Coral for a pop of color. And this was really easy to make. You just start with Balmy Blue and you stamp it here. Maybe stamp it again with re-inking if you want. That's totally up to you. Then you add the Calypso Coral, and then I did add in a third color, which I rarely do on a Busy Bee card. And if you wanted to, I could stamp it in Calypso Coral and then stamp it off at least 3 times, probably 4. But can you see? It's very hard to see. I used Petal Pink ink. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it just gave that soft little background. I didn't want it to stand out. I wanted your eye focus to go from the lower left up to the upper right. Just added some Balmy Blue sheer ribbon, tied it together with some white baker's twine, added on the thank you from the Simply Said stamp set, and bam, we're done. I love this Busy Bee card. You could make a ton of those in a hurry. So let's bring in the Worker Bee card. The Worker Bee card, you can see, same. We've got Balmy Blue ink, Calypso Coral ink, Petal Pink ink. But to step this up a bit, I added a layer of Calypso Coral cardstock. And then I also added some of the pastel 6x6 designer series paper. And I just pulled out a piece of the Calypso Coral to add a little bump of color, added on the sentiment at a diagonal, and then I added the Balmy Blue ribbon up here and tied it with a bow of white baker's twine. Now, I did punch a hole. It's I believe it's a 1/16 circle punch. We don't carry those anymore, but you can get one for like $4.99 in the office supply store. So that is something that was non-Stampin' Up! Related. Very easy card, but I do think that this kind of adds the designer paper on the tag, and I just cut this banner notch with my scissors. So super duper easy. Let me just show you the difference. And I do think, I'll put it down so you can see it better. I do think that addition of the Calypso Coral paper really makes it pop even more than the Busy Bee card. But I do like the Busy Bee card too, friends. And then we're going to bring in our Queen Bee card. For those of you that are experienced card makers, this is also very super simple. but I brought in the dies. So I die cut the stars. Aren't those cool? Let me bring those up. And then if you look on the small stars, because I cut more of the small stars, I added Wink of Stella only to the small stars. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I don't know how well you could see that on camera, but they're just so fun. Now, I made this a thank you card, and I think if you do the queen bee card, I don't know that it would work as well for the worker bee card, but if you do the queen bee card and maybe change the colors into royal colors like what would be blueberry bushel, maybe even red, this would make a great Happy New Year card. I would just do it in bolder colors instead of the pastels that I used here. These are my colors, my friends, and I just really wanted to make this card in these colors. I adore these colors. But again, you could very easily do this in bold, bright colors, and it would make a fabulous Happy New Year card. Don't you think? I do. Okay, so let's bring all of our cards in. Let me move my camera up so you can see all of them. We've got our busy bee for those of you that are busy or beginner stampers. Super easy. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you how easy this is. Then we have our worker bee when you want to put just a little bit more work in it. And really, the only extra work on this is extra cardstock and paper. Otherwise, it's almost exactly like the busy bee card. And then for the queen bee card, we have to break out our cut and emboss machine and use the dies. But I think this card has a huge visual impact. So I have complete instructions for you if you need them. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite and which one you'd be most likely to make. Thanks for joining me today, my friends, and I'll be back next Sunday with another Step It Up Stamping. Bye.